Highland Park, Detroit. I grew up in real poverty in a dangerous, violent neighborhood. I got beat up, but I fought back. I learned life's lessons, and my motto became, no fear and never give up. My mom, my hero, a single mom on welfare and food stamps who worked as many jobs as she could just to put food on the table. Most of the times, it was just beans and cornbread, but she did her best. They called me white trash, but I made it out. It wasn't easy. I was the only one in my family to graduate high school. I worked my way through college and New England School of Law, living in Roxbury. I joined the Marines, fought addiction, cancer, and mountains of debt. No fear, and I will never give up. After law school, I got married, became the proud father of 3 amazing daughters, and built the law practice. I fought for the little guy. I took on the greedy corporations and the heartless insurance companies, and I won. I took on the Washington insiders, and I won. I am running for U.S. Senate to continue my life's mission to shake things up for the people who need it most. Take on the drug and insurance companies for better, more accessible health care. Instead of just pointing the fingers at each other, actually work to solve the migrant crisis. Fight inflation that's crushing working families. Work for better opportunities for children. Take on Washington corruption and the division that's killing this country. We need term limits for these career politicians who have simply forgotten who elected them. Elizabeth Warren, well, she promised to be a champion for those in need. Instead, she gives lectures and plays politics and gets nothing done for Massachusetts. I will work day and night to make a difference in your life. I know your life struggles because I've lived them. I know your dreams and your hopes for you and your family because I share them. I will fight for what is right because I have no fear, and I will never give up.
Hey, everybody. All right, so listen. Check. All right. So the last presenter canceled, so they asked me to come up, just give a few words. Don't worry, I'm not going to give a political speech. Everybody here knows who I am. I will say, please, many of you have already donated. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. If you could donate more, please go to johndeatonforsenate.com. But I want to celebrate you. Enough of me for a minute. And I want to share something with you before we end the show. Never let people tell you that you can't make a difference. Never let them. I've heard so many times when I was going to do something, oh, it's not going to make a difference. When I sued the SEC, everybody said it's not going to make a difference. But all it takes is one person to do one act that inspires one more person, and then another person, and then another person. And in this case, being an XRP holder, there is proof, absolute proof, that not just me, but everybody in this room made a difference. And no one can dispute that, right? Everybody that knows me knows I deal with facts and data. The Judge Torres, cited XRP holder affidavits when she said XRP itself's not a security. When she said there are people who purchased XRP for non-investment purposes, people who purchased XRP who had never heard of a company called Ripple. They may have heard the name Ripple, but they didn't know that there was a company called Ripple that sold software to banks. They were just buying this token, this asset. And the judge cited those affidavits. If you don't take the time to sign up to this case, then all I am is a lone voice, right? All I am, I might as well get a sign and stand on the corner or scream to the clouds. It's not going to make a difference. But when I petitioned the judge, at the time, I said, look, I got 12,600 people who have joined, who want their voices heard. By the time we got to the amicus brief, it was 75,000 people, XRP holders, from 143 different countries, including the United States, Russia, Ukraine, Qatar, UK, Australia, Canada. You just go on and on. It's amazing. And so all of these people got together and said, I want to join, I want to be heard, I don't want the SEC to speak for me, and you made a difference. And that's what I want. So everybody's been celebrating me, and I love it. I promise you, I'll be at the after party if you're going to it. I'll talk to you. I'll stay here if you want to talk to me, no matter how long it takes, because you always are celebrating me. I want you to take an opportunity to celebrate yourself, because without you, I'd have just been one dude screaming in the sky. And so take a moment for yourself and realize that you did make a difference in this case. And when you look at as much pain as an XRP holder went through, like Jeremy Hogan said, you've already went through it. There's only one token other than Bitcoin that has the asset itself, a declaration by a federal judge that it is not a security. So you did that. All right, I just want you to know that it's not always about me. Without you, I'm nothing. If I wouldn't be able to run for Senate if it wasn't for you all. You understand what I'm saying? I'll tell you why. Because that one act of all you joining gave me a voice. And all of a sudden, a judge can't ignore 75,000 people. Wow, this has never been done in the history of litigation. Never. Never in the history of litigation, the judge is like, wait a minute, are you telling me that thousands of people are so upset they're willing to be sued by the SEC and be a defendant in the case? That's how upset they are? A judge can't ignore that. So she didn't ignore it, and she let us in the case. She allowed us to be heard, and then she cited what we were doing, and it made a difference. So when Jeremy Hogan says, without us, that decision doesn't work out that way. I got news for you. Brad Garlinghouse and others have said the same. Without you participating, that decision does not come down the way it did. And so that's what made me sort of known, right? I'm just a lawyer in Massachusetts. I'm working as hard as I can, representing mesothelioma and lung cancer clients. I didn't see this coming, but if you don't do that and don't join with me, if you're not inspired by what I did and then you don't re-inspire me, I'm not standing here addressing you. And I just want you to know how great. Don't give up on America. I just want you to think, we have hard times right now, and we got shitty leadership in Washington, D.C. There's no doubt about it. We live in the corruption era. There's no doubt about it. But we can make a change, and we can make a difference. And I want you to know that when I do win, and I will win, every one of you will be invited to the victory party, okay? Because every one of you will be winning too. It'll be the regular people, just a regular person is taking back their government. And I wouldn't be in this position if it wasn't for you. So I came out here to thank you. And that's all I'm going to say about the race. I love you, whatever you said, I love you. But what I do want to do now is I want to celebrate the people behind this. You know, last year was the first time XRP Las Vegas was put together, and I remember Brad Kimes said, hey, John, I'm thinking of putting a conference together. Will you come talk? And I said, of course, I'll come talk. And then, you know, that was like 400 people. Now there's like 650, and now you have Brad Garlinghouse, Joel Katz, David Schwartz. You have the Digital Chamber of Commerce, Perry Ann Boring, all this. Brad Kimes, can you come out here? And your wife. Bring your wife. And I know that Brad never takes all the credit. So his partner in crime, I think a guy named Digital Asset Investor, you come out too. But let me tell you right now, I'm a man, right? So I know that the person on this stage that deserves the most credit is right here. And I say that as a man, knowing. So I just want to say thank you. This has been a hell of a conference. I've been to many of the conferences, and sometimes it's just party, and sometimes it's so technical in substance. This is a perfect blend, in my opinion, Brad, and your wife, and DAI, of community and substance, right? Community spirit and substance. And so I'm taking the opportunity to make sure that we celebrate you guys, okay? So can we get a round of applause, please?
Is this live? Can we all just give this guy a round of applause? He truly does this for all of you. Honest.
I couldn't do any of this without the two people standing beside me, and you're about to meet the rest of the crew in a second. But before I do, I gotta say, President Kennedy, back in the day, asked Dr. Warren Von Braun, what would it take to go to the moon? He said, the will to do it. And I ask everybody here to put your will in making that man the next senator of Massachusetts. When you think about the 10.5 months it took for us to sacrifice and put this together for you guys, and the marital spats, it takes what it takes. But look, it goes beyond that. And the things that we put together, my wife and I worked very hard. And when it came time for the marketing, DAI and myself went hard on this thing. And I know a lot of you are like, I bought my ticket already. Can we stop talking about this now? But you guys are wonderful and amazing. We're super grateful. And as John had said, this is for you. And I hope that you guys receive that message through our work and our effort, because you mean the world to me. You really do. And now I want to show some people that made it all happen behind the scenes, because they mean the world to me too. I want the staff to come out here, please. That made you have a great time. Let's give it up. This is what it means. It takes a village. None of this happens without all of them and without all of you. And I just want to say that what we're doing is about coming together. This is not about divisiveness, and now more than ever, whether we're talking about the crypto space or whether we're talking about the state of our nation, like John Deaton has talked about, we are at a very crucial phase in both sectors. And I hope that we continue to unite like this to make sure we get the kind of country and the kind of financial system that we want for our children's children. I love you all.
I got one thing to say. This is with XRP at 50 cents. Like, what's it going to be like at $5? I'm just saying, what kind of party you throwing?
You know, if we get a $2, $5 XRP, there's going to be 5,000 people in this room. You know that, right? All of you are amazing, and it's so special to be on this journey together. I've said this to a lot of you this weekend, and I absolutely mean every bit of it. And if I haven't had a chance to say it to you today or over the 2 days, I want to say it right now. Everyone is born with a commodity. That commodity is a 24-hour day. The fact that you let me into your life to be a part of your routine is something so special. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you guys so much. Love each and one of you. I also want to say the pool party, if you want to get registered and you already have your ticket, you can go right out to the registration booth, get your wristband now. It starts at 5, directly downstairs from the escalators and out the back of the building. It's going to be remarkable. And you can still buy a ticket if you want one. I didn't know the answer. I told you.
I told you she did all the work.
She did all the work. That's how you know right there. I love you guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you at the pool party. Thank you guys.